today I wanted to talk about Catholic radio, because Catholic radio is what really started me down this journey to really embrace like the fullness of Catholicism. I've always been a Catholic, but once you start really studying the faith, it's like you're drawn to the sacraments more, you're drawn to examining your own life in a very different lens, in this lens of eternal salvation and not just being a person. The way I discovered Catholic radio is I was driving in Eugene, Oregon, and I came across the Mater Dei radio station, and I was just like, what in the world? This is amazing. There's Catholic radio. I mean, we all know there's Christian radio, Protestant radio, but I had no idea there was Catholic radio, and I'm not sure that all Catholics know that they're Catholic radio. So if you don't know, now is the time to go find your station. But it doesn't stop there, because all of the major networks have an app, and you can either listen live or listen to shows on demand, which is amazing. My phone has Ave Maria Radio, EWTN Radio, and Relevant Radio. Relevant radio is kind of my basic, like, that's where I gravitate towards the most. Okay guys, so as you can see, I have a bunch of different apps on here. The first app we're going to go into is Relevant Radio, and right there you can see that Listen Live option. If you go ahead and click into menu, you can see they have on-demand shows, which are going to be pulled up as podcasts. So many great shows. Inner Life, Go Ask Your Father. And then if you go over to pray, you have audio prayers. So this is how I always pray the rosary. They also have the chaplet, the Angelus, all sorts of great things. And then you can also go into basic prayers, and they have so many prayers, you guys. Look at all this. I learned so many of our, Catholic prayers through this app. And I just think the app has done so well. Spiritual communion's down there if you can't make it to Mass, or you can't partake in the actual Eucharist for whatever reason. I mean, Catholic apps are amazing. I highly suggest that you watch my Catholic app video if you haven't already, because I'm just a huge fan of having Catholicism, like the Arch Faith, on your phone. EWTN is like the big network. I'm sure almost every Catholic church at some point has heard of EWTN. And I don't know what it stands for, so if someone wants to let me know, or I'll put it in the description what it stands for, or up here. That's also just a huge resource, awesome programming. And again, I think a lot of their shows are on demand. Okay, so the next app we're going to go into is EWTN. So you can see they have a listen live. You can do watch or listen live. And then this is all of the podcasts on demand. And let's see here. I'm trying to see if there's something that I really love. Oh, Call to Communion is right there. You got your daily Mass if you want to watch. And then you could do a spiritual communion along with that. And then Ave Radio, yet again, another option. So if I am getting ready in the morning and I don't feel like listening to Pat Madrid because I don't want to listen to current events, I will turn on Ave Maria Radio Live, and usually they're playing more catechesis type intellectual stuff in the mornings. Okay, and finally we're going to get into Ave Maria Radio. So again, you can see there's a live streaming option. There's also just so many great shows on demand. The Doctor is in. Christ is the Answer. It just depends on what you're interested in. But Catholic radio, even if you just are only listening to it when you're driving and you're only getting bits and pieces of it, it will start to feed your soul. And it will start to bring up questions, but it also, it really just solidifies your faith. I love EWTN. Live truth, live Catholic. And it's just like, oh my gosh, we are living in the truth. And we as Catholics need to understand what that truth is. And there's always more to learn. There's always, doctors of our church to read. There are always saints to read. There's the catechism to read. There's obviously the Bible to read. Read encyclical letters by the Pope. And I'm pretty sure you could also go on Vatican.com and listen to his sermons. I'm just trying to say that Catholic radio is like the stepping stone into a very deeper faith. I challenge every Catholic to give Catholic radio a listen for 1 week, and maybe just on your commute or when you're getting groceries or whatever. Just for 1 week, find your radio station and just listen to it and see if Jesus doesn't touch your heart. See if he doesn't stir this further truth inside you. See if he doesn't call you to go to confession if you haven't been for a while. See if he doesn't call you to stop missing Mass, because every single Sunday we are called to the Lord's table and we have to go. I even challenge, Protestants, if you're watching this, start listening to Catholic radio. You're gonna hear things that are gonna challenge what you've been taught, and that's okay, because perhaps you've been taught something that wasn't the full truth. And I'm not trying to bash on Protestants. If you're a Protestant and you love Protestantism, go for it. But if you've never opened your heart to Catholicism, like I've said before in my other, you might be missing something videos, I think listening to Catholic radio will really clarify some of the maybe misconceptions you have about our faith. Because the Catholic Church was the first church. I know a lot of people aren't taught that. The Catholics are the ones who put together the Bible together, and Peter was our first pope, and the lineage is unbroken. And there's lots of other great things. They were practicing, the sacrament of the Eucharist from very early on. They were practicing the sacrament of confession from very early on. These are not made up things. They all have roots in that original church that started from tradition, and it had to start from tradition because no one had written it down yet. So again, if you're being told things, I'll put my blasphemies video in here too, but I really do challenge Protestants to give Catholic radio a listen. And if you need help figuring out what your station is, let me know. All the media is amazing, and there's just so much out there. But Catholic radio just was presented to me at the very right time, where I was very open to it, and it's changed my life. And I wanted to share in case you're ready for it to change yours too. All right, guys, have a blessed day. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Just wanted to show you guys the Lotte app. I probably should redo my apps video, but this is what I use every single morning, unless I'm preparing for Sunday Mass and I have my missal. But it tells you we're in ordinary time. It shows you the saint for the day. Then you get your readings right there. It's so easy. There's no excuses. And then my favorite thing is you can go into reflections, and they have a reflection from One Bread, One Body, which is my absolute favorite, and then from another source as well. And they just kind of tie the readings all together, give you some action ideas. And then finally, if you pop over to TuneIn, this is just another way to listen to your favorite shows. So EWTN's in here, The Doctor's in. I'm able to get Mater Dei Radio, which is the one I left from Oregon here.